What is going on? Dang, my hair's all messed up. All I did was put on a hat. What's going on? What's going on? Music on. Hear this? Lord, a little Martin. All right, cool. What's going on already with the $2 dono? What's going on, Eric? Thank you. Thank you for keeping me in the background. What's going on, David? Awesome soul. Yeah, we're at the finish line. We got two. Really comes down to two features left to wrap this whole thing up. So, hoping to get that done tonight, and then send it off to for critiquing and balancing and all that. What's going on, Yoda? What is going on? Yeah, so hopefully if we can figure out these last two final features for two subclasses tonight, I can send this off to critiquing, balancing to everybody, and then start getting this thing formatted and get it on a layout, and then get it up on DM's Guild hopefully before the end of this month. That'd be pretty sick. Make it just in time for Hispanic Heritage Month. Or is it Hispanic or Latino? Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month. I think that's what it is. So yeah, that'd be sick. So this is what we got so far. After my group has been doing playtests here and there, so we did make some changes to like some of the core features. The biggest one that got a big subclass feature, no, not a subclass, main class feature kind of update. Hold on, I just have to make sure the music we have on is stream friendly. Okay. Isn't Hispanic and Latino the same thing? Yes and no. They're specifically Hispanic, I believe, I'm gonna probably misspeak, but refers to people with ancestry towards Spain, and not all Latinos have that. So like there's some slight differences. So yeah. All right. So like I was saying, the big change that really made it for the Luchador and its core kit was technical. So how we gain Lucha die changed slightly. Instead, it now requires you to be successful on an attack, grapple, and shove. So that was the big thing. It just was willy-nilly. As long as you had attempted a grapple, shove, and attack, you were able to get Lucha die previously. Now we changed it that you have to actually be successful. This did slow down the gain of Lucha die, but also for those that did test it, they felt that was better for you. That if you felt rewarded for actually doing that. Hold on, I'm getting messages on my phone. Oh. So yeah. So that was the feedback. So we changed it, and it did work. But there was a bit of a slowdown. Tomorrow we're gonna do another testing now from levels 1 to 10. Actually, level 10 one shot to see now some of the higher level features and kind of get some feedback. I'm actually personally playing a Luchador. So that's going to be pretty awesome. My brother's also playing another one, and actually have, you guys can see, character sheet. Made a character for tomorrow's game. It's based in Innistrad. I was going to do a character that was werewolf based, but knowing my brother was going to do Grave Titan, he wanted to be some like undead Undertaker type kind of character. I made sense if the whole one shot is based on El Santo versus the monsters. Somebody should be El Santo, a version of that. So I opted to do that. So other than that, most of the other features in the core kit stayed the same, except right towards the end we did some updating. We changed. I got rid of the level 18 feature from the subclasses. I just didn't feel that the subclasses really needed pretty much a capstone feature. Maybe I can go back on this. I'm not really sure. But I just felt like 4 to 5 features that you get in the middle of the kit gave you enough of the flavor in a certain play style, and it was enough to make you fully realize that. Versus trying to also make a capstone for every single every single subclass, because I also felt the subclasses really benefited that their capstone, and it felt like they were complete once they got their finishing move. But I also wanted to make sure you got your finishing move earlier. So that's why instead of having a capstone for each, and you have to wait till level 18 to get that special, I made another feature for the core class called finishing move, where you get to choose 2 of your signature moves, and then they become your finishing moves, and you can perform one of these moves. Whenever you roll Lucha dice to do damage, you can deal maximum damage instead of just rolling for it. But after that, it takes a short or long rest to do it again. So pretty much you have 2 signature moves. You can max out the damage once on each before a rest, and then after that rest, you can do it all over again. So I felt that was a big change, just to kind of give you that like big spike in damage and feel good. We'll see how this changes with OneD&D, but we'll get to OneD&D and how they make all those changes later once they solidify everything. And then also the class capstone went down, and it's still King of the Ring, but I made some slight changes to that too. So this is whenever you roll for initiative, you still begin with 5 Lucha die, but you also gain Lucha die whenever you attempt to attack, grapple, or shove a creature. So with this one, that restriction that we had at level 1, level 1 with gaining signature move Lucha die, it pretty much is back to how it used to be, but it felt better at level 20, where you're just like, you're just kicking everybody's ass, and boom, you're just gaining Lucha die just for, trying. You're just that good in the ring. So yeah, those are like the small tweaks to those. Other than that, everything else stayed the same. And then we have all our signature moves completely done. All of them are done. They probably are going to need some word fixes and stuff, but that'll be done when it goes into like feedback and editing. And then, we're getting some slow down here. Then we got our subclasses. So almost every subclass has their tool, pretty much everything done. We did get to finish Mask of the Feathered Serpent and Mask of the Great Titan. So Mask of the Feathered Serpent is like the Cuckoo Clan Quetzalcoatl inspired, Aztec Mayan inspired subclass that is about wanting you to be a high flyer and using the power of the wind. So that one, the 2 features we got are Whirlwind Coil. So this is going to give you a range grapple. You pretty much sonic boom somebody, and then if they get hit by it and they fail to save, they are grappled at a range. So this also works with characters in the air. It just keeps them in place. And then if you attack them while they're grappled this way, pretty much that wind blows up and hits everybody around it. Say it again. Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl. Guacamole. And then Wood Serpent's Tongue. This allows you to speak Celestial and Primordial. Specifically, I wanted Primordial so that you can speak Orin. You speak the wind language. And then Celestial, because it makes sense, because Cuckoo Clan, pretty much any feathered serpent being god is actually Celestial. So it just made a lot more sense. And then Wind Stride, this is kind of like your defensive feature. You're able to dash as a bonus action. And then when you dash in this way, you pretty much get a bunch of buffs, which I'm pretty sure needs to get nerfed. But I want it so that you don't provoke opportunity attacks. Your jump distance is doubled. You don't take damage from falling under 20 feet or less. Really do reinforce that high flyer aspect. In all honesty, if I probably should switch these around, switch Wind Stride with Whirlwind Coil, because this kind of informs the playstyle you want, while Whirlwind Coil is just really flashy. But for me, it's like, what's the thing that's going to be the most flashiest that kind of baits you into playing the subclass? And this one felt, okay, I might as well put this up front. But we'll see. This is the one I kind of want to test to really see if I kind of nailed some things or not. And off the first glance, I feel like you might be waiting a little too long to get into that high flyer playstyle where you're kind of jumping. And then Skydive right here just again reinforces that high flyer, you're finding ways to jump and get into the air to land on people. This one says pretty much whenever you jump before performing a signature move, you reduce the cost of lucha die to perform your next signature move before every 10 feet you fell. So if you fly high, like you fall off higher, you reduce it. Say you fall off for 20 feet. Okay, well, that's 2 lucha die reduced. So it's mainly to force people to get creative on how they're doing that. And then Tormenta, this one, let me pull up on the side. I will show you what this is inspired by. This is inspired by actually a Fuerte from Street Fighter 4. So let me... Okay, I did find it. Okay. We're going to turn off the sound. Let me put this up so you guys can actually see. So this is what is inspired by. So a Fuerte is the Luchador in Street Fighter 4. Let me push this up. They're going to see. Okay. So he has these really awesome high-flying moves. So it's actually inspired a little bit the combination of both of these. So let me restart it. So mainly this one's inspired by Tormenta. Kind of does something similar. And it's mainly this last bit where he kind of just slams them to the ground. But on the second one he's going to do is kind of this wind up. So right, he grapples and spins them around, turns them into a tornado, lifts them up into the air. While he ends it with a submission, in my version, he actually slams them to the ground. So that's what it does. So you're going to spend 5 lucha die. If you grapple them, Alabama Slam. That's almost a Canadian Destroyer Alabama Slam. Probably similar. You can expend 5 lucha die. You maneuver your body around them, creating a whirlwind, briefly lifting both of you for 10 feet into the air. You hurl the creature down to an unoccupied space below you. Each creature in a 5-foot cube originating from the thrown creature must make a Constitution saving throw. Against your signature move DC on a failed save, a creature takes damage equal to 5 rolls of your lucha die and is pushed back and knocked prone 10 feet from away from the creature. On a successful save, the creature takes half damage and isn't pushed. So yeah, and then combine this with Whirlwind Coil, so everybody that's within a certain space will get hit with sort of thunder damage on the crackback, and then they're pushed away after that. So it kind of gives you this thunder wave effect. So that was the whole thing. Like, it's a super flashy. This is like the thing you're gonna want. I'm probably gonna recode this a little bit so that it also counts as a signature move in case you want to use this as your finisher, your finishing move. So yeah, I probably should do that. Mask of the Grave Titan. This one is your Undertaker, your La Parca. Thank you, Titus Davis, for the sub. Thank you. This is your Kane. This is your big bruiser kind of lucha who there's definitely that archetype actually in Lucha Libre, where you have like this big imposing 6'5" Mexican master wrestler just beating the shit out of people. And well, this is that. This is my goal for it, but also taking inspiration from characters like the Undertaker, where they have the power of undead. So we have Dead Presence. This is pretty much you're inducing fear onto people. So as a bonus action, you can choose a number of creatures equal to your charisma modifier within 10 feet of you that you can see. On a failed save, they become frightened of you for a minute. A frightened creature can repeat this saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Okay, but then a Grave Impact is gives you the Chokeslam signature move because it made a lot of sense. But then once during each of your turns, when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike signature move or shove a creature prone. Dude, you got the typo there in Feathered Serpent. Right here. Oh, I'm not worried about that. That's all gonna get deleted. That's just for me. Anyway, Grave Impact. So once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with unarmed strike, a signature move, or shove a creature prone, they take necrotic damage equal to 1d4 plus your charisma modifier, and they can regain hit points until the start of your next turn. If the target is frightened of you, they take necrotic damage equal to 1d6 plus your charisma modifier instead. So it does want to kind of induce this fear and also that touch of undead where you're not allowing them to regain HP. That was the inspiration for that. It's more of a combo thing, but for me, it kind of reinforced the I'm gonna grab you and slam you to the ground all the time. Then you got Relentless Dead, which is another sort of defensive feature. That's kind of like what I want out of the 6th level features. Some sort of way to defend yourself a bit, to keep you in the fight alongside Ludo. So this one, it pretty much turns you undead. You don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. When you take damage that reduces you to half your maximum hit points or less, you can use your reaction to gain temporary hit points equal to 5 times the number of your current Lucha dice pool. If a creature hits you with a melee attack while you have these hit points, the creature takes cold damage equal to your charisma modifier. You lose all your Lucha die and can't use this feature again until you finish a short or long rest. So it's a really, really quick way to kind of keep you up and give you this Armor of Agatha sort of thing to kind of just keep you going to this unstoppable undead force. Then Grim Strength is really simple. You cannot be knocked prone while you have a Lucha die. The extra damage you deal with a Grave Impact feature increases from 1d6 to 1d8. Oh, excuse me. The damage you deal with the Grave Impact feature increases to 1d6 and 1d8 if the target is frightened of you. So again, just expanding the damage. And then Crack of Doom. So what this is if we power bomb or choke slam somebody, any feature that pretty much puts a creature prone through a shove, you can expend 5 Lucha die to banish them to the realms of the dead. The creature disappears and returns at the end of your next turn to a space it previously occupied or the nearest unoccupied space prone. The creature takes necrotic damage equal to 5d6 plus your strength modifier. Pretty much just a banishment that sends them to the realms of the underworld. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm considering cold. I almost put cold at first, but yeah, that's an easy change. That's an easy change. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a kind of a control thing, but also you're choke slamming or power bombing somebody so hard that they disappear for a turn. They're sent to the underworld. So that's what I had for those two. I do have another subclass idea, but I don't think it will make the final thing yet. I'll work on it on the side to give myself some breathing room. I really wanted to nail down these 4. So then we have People's Champion and Tooth and Claw. And these are the ones I'm really struggling on how to finish these. So I'm hoping to do that today. So People's Champion is what is the Luchador version of the Champion Fighter, the Lore Bard, the Thief Rogue. It's your go-to kind of like good guy standard Luchador. Your basic option, your vanilla option. I did do something a little flashier with awe-inspiring. Hey, what's going on, Joseph? Yeah, so I did do something a little flashy with this one. I'm going to be playing this one. The People's Champion is not The Rock. There is no other word to describe what it is, but it's frustrating because I already know that's going to be happening. They're going to see People's Champion and they're going to be like, oh, hey, how come you don't do a rock bottom? How come you don't do a People's Elbow? I already know people are going to say that. But there is, and the core belief of what a luchador is, especially the good guys, técnicos, is what they call them in Lucha Libre. They are the people's hero. They're the ones that go into the town and meet and greet people and pretty much the best way to describe it is it's their superhero. It's their Superman. And that's what this subclass is meant to be. And unfortunately, there's no other word for People's Champion that sounds good. Like if there's a one word thing, I wouldn't use that so I don't get the Rock comparisons. Sorry, give me a sec. Beyonce is messaging me. Okay. So yeah. That's why if you guys have a suggestion for a better subclass name, I'll definitely take it because I don't want Dwayne The Rock Johnson comparisons all day. for this one. But there really is no other way to convey that idea to people. Okay, so yeah, so I'm still bouncing around between two level 11 features. The original one I had was kind of like this Sentinel-esque grapple that I'm kind of feeling like dropping from the subclass for its level 11 feature for something just a little bit more straightforward. So quickly going over to kind of get an idea of what this class is meant to do. Since it is geared towards being like the good guy-esque lucha, it does want to focus a little bit more on the grapple aspect of I'm hoping the grapple aspect of the toolkit. So awe-inspiring is while grappling or shoving your creature, choose a number of creatures you can see within 10 feet of you, up to a number equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1, until the start of your next turn. Whenever a target makes an attack roll or saving throw, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the attack roll or saving throw. You may use this feature once per turn. So it's kind of giving this little bless effect for just, kicking, doing what you're meant to do, just like continuously grappling and shoveling creatures all the time. Also, this bounces off and benefits from whenever you do a signature move. So signature moves are coded in a way that whenever you successfully grapple, shove, or hit a creature, you can perform a signature move on top of it. So that's what that is. It's just a nice little bless effect. And then Showstopper just makes you really good at persuading and, pretty much let you play the face role, which is really what I wanted out of this subclass too. Is like you are the one that could actually be a good guy. So you get to add your strength modifier to your persuasion check. Then defense feature, I don't have a name for this. If you guys have a cool idea for a name, but it's simple. While grappling a single creature, you reduce damage taken by bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage by the number of lucha die you have. So it's just an additional layer on a condition that you're grappling somebody. I might change it. So might change it in a way that it is coded in a way that lasts until the start of your turn, and as long as you're grappling or shoving your creature, as long as you've done that. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna see how it actually plays out. Body shield. We'll go with that one. Body shield. Yeah, so this is just like a little extra layer of damage protection or body block. I like body block. If this was a little bit more of the active or reactive way, a reactive feature, I would probably call it no sell. But Doodle kind of is that no sell idea. So yeah, so this is just like an extra thing. All that'll be on top of it. This was an original idea we had for like some sort of damage mitigation, but I feel this is okay in a subclass because you have to invest more into it to get it. And compared to how Doodle is written now, we can go up to that. Where Doodle is now. So whenever you're hit by a melee attack, you can use your reaction to expend one lucha die and reduce the damage of the attack by the result of the die plus your luchador level. No sell is also like a bad wrestler. It can be. I know what you're meaning because I was reading up on some of the greats, and what was it? Mil Máscaras had a reputation of like not selling. And he mainly did it when wrestlers he felt were performing badly. So yeah, that's why. So we'll go with body block for now. See if we can get something little bit flashier. And then 11th level, like I said, I have 2 features here. I'm liking my second one that I have now. But the first one was whenever a creature's movement provokes an opportunity attack from you, you can use your reaction to grapple it. You cannot use this reaction if you're already grappling a creature. So it was just a simple, like, oh, somebody's trying to leave. Boom, I'm gonna snatch him. Excuse me. I was like, okay, that's cool. Not bad at, like, you really want to keep somebody down. But then the other level 11th feature that I was considering is the first signature move you perform on your turn costs 1 less Lucha die to perform. So just something a little more basic, a little more straightforward, especially for a subclass that's kind of meant to just kind of like guide you towards that playstyle. Just very, very basic. I like that one a little bit more than the intricacy that this one has to have. So because you kind of have to have a knowledge of the action economy a little bit. And I did want this one to have some level of flash, but also gear, like you generally know what you're supposed to be doing. So yeah, I'm liking this. I just don't have a name for it. So yeah. And for the, I don't know what to do for the signature move for this, like the final finisher for this. Because for me, it's like Tormenta is like there's imagery for that. You're literally turning into a tornado and then you're slamming them into the ground after flying into the air. Grave or Crack of Doom, you're choke slamming or slamming people into the ground and sending them into the underworld. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly fantasy I can have for this, for the character. Okay. What I want. That's why. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wanted to call it the main event. Yeah, like that's why I want it to be exactly kind of that. You're in the ballpark of like what I was thinking. Some sort of pretty much grapple a hold. Part of it too, because most of the good guy luchadores, the main ones, their signature moves and their stuff are grapples. It's not the high flying acrobatics that a lot of people think and associate with lucha libre, even though that is part of the case, that you see a lot of that. That's part of the wrestling style for all of them. But a lot of the good guys were really, really technical. That's why they call it technical. And they grappled. They had submission holds. So what I was thinking too is like, I had this idea, and I actually, let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on, I'm gonna ignore what I post in the design for Luchador. I just want to save what I have pasted. But I had shared this with Indestructible, and I'm wondering a version of this that I could bring a version of this called Pinfall. This is what I had. While grappling a prone creature, if they are at half their hit points as an action, you can spend 5 lucha die and have the creature make a Constitution saving throw against your signature move DC. On a failed save, they drop to 0 hit points. Pretty much just flat out kill them. Like, just eat them up. That's it. Some variation of this, because I want you to be able to use it on creatures even if they're like above half hit points. So like the reason this wasn't like the level 18 feature for the class was simply because it was either going to be really, really good or really, really bad. And it was too swingy. And the big thing, the feedback that Taryn gave me was at 18, you want something that's really consistent, that's guaranteed. So that's why I switched over to the finishing move one, taking actually inspiration from the wizard of all things. So I was just looking at other classes and seeing like what do they do different besides what marshals do at level 18. And then I saw the wizard. I'm like, you know what? That would be pretty sick if that applied to signature moves. And then I started tweaking and playing with different effects. I'm like, what would actually feel good as a player is like making your signature move cost free. Like it's just for a turn, like you just cast it for free. I was like, yeah, that's cool. You just get you get a free one popped off, but you gain enough momentum die, or excuse me, lucha die at this level that I was like, you know what would be sick? If this is like, because they're already called signature moves, and then in the wizard it's called signature spells. But I figured, oh, but what if there was a finishing move and you just maxed out the damage? So that's how that came about, and it felt better. Like I would be like, yeah, this is sick. I want to go to level 8, like 18 for this. So what I'm thinking, you successfully grapple a creature. You can expend 5 lucha die. How do I want to do this? No. All right. I know I don't want it to do it on a grapple. When you hit a creature, you're grappling with an unarmed strike. So it forces you to grapple, and then we're gonna change the idea of like you choking them as you're grappling them as like this attack. Like, that's what that unarmed strike is. Like you're actually just reining it in. Throw against your signature move DC. Hold on. Scene messages and stuff. Okay. When you hit a creature you're grappling with an unarmed strike, you can expend 5 lucha die and make a Constitution save throw or get your signature move DC on a failed save. I did capacitated, but what let me pull up. We're gonna need to look at some let's look at some status effects. Want to look at some status effects to kind of get I don't want stunned, but I kind of feel stunned might be okay at that level, but who knows. Is there a stunning strike stuns, but what other spells is there any like spells at that level for a spellcaster that does stun? Grappled, incapacitated. Let's see what stun does. What spell? Oh, that's what I want to know. What spells do? Oh, heck, I don't want that. I don't want the picture. I'll go to D&D Beyond. Stun, but on a spell. I don't know. Is there a spell that stuns? Power word stun. Okay. Psychic scream or purity protects you. Heat power, healing power. You think we can get away with that? Because it is a level. It's a level 15 feature. I don't think it's that bad. Yeah, power word stun is the 8th level, 9th level. Right? Let's look at a wizard. Investiture of Stone is a 6th level feature or 6th level spell. So let's see where we get like. Yeah, level 15. Okay, no, we're good. I do not feel bad about giving them a potential stun feature here. It's only going to last for a turn. And then if people are worried that... If people are going to worry that they're just going to... They can't even stun like they're... Like it's a monk anyway. Okay, when you hit a creature, you're grappling with an unarmed strike. You can expend 5 lucha die and make a constitution saving throw against your signature move DC on a failed save. Creature. Hold on. Because that's dumb. Investiture of Stone is self-stun if you miss some sort of thing. Yeah. And at level 15, full casters get access to power word stun. So like, yeah, like we're kind of in a good spot. They get access to this right at that level. Level 8. 8th level spells, they get access to this at level 15. Power word stuns, boom, right here. And the reason I don't want it to last a minute, I don't want it to last a minute because when it comes to the luchador, that is getting somebody stunned, is with their kit is terrible. Not for the luchador, for the creature. I do want a level of counterplay, and stunning them for a turn should be more than enough to take them out. But that's not all. This is I want some like stunning them is cool. You're gonna take them out for a turn, right? But that's not all I want to do. All right. So hold on, where's it at? Save a creature. The creature takes bludgeoning damage equal to 5d6 and is stunned until the start of your next. We can do start of your next turn. Creature is below hit points. Save instead. And instead drops to 0 hit point. So yeah, this is my idea right now. Pretty much, if they're above half their hit points, you do a lot of damage to them. They're stunned, because in reality, it's 5d6. Since it is an armor strike, that's going to be 6d6 plus your strength modifier. The way that this should be coded. That's some of the things I'm kind of like figuring out with signature moves and stuff. One of the things with the feedback and stuff I'm hoping to see is if I do get some level of pushback. Excuse me, burping a lot. Some level of pushback, or the need for some clarity is changing how signature moves operate a little bit, since they all are riders on top of like doing the basic action economy. The goal is to be able to combo and put these together, except when it comes to super moves, because they're gonna kind of take 5 lucha die. It's kind of like one of those things like, yeah, this costs a lot. At most, you're gonna be able to pop off 2 a turn if you have enough resources, and if you save up, possibly 3, depending on the sequence of maneuvers that you do. Because yeah, that's one of the things I like. I'm gonna be trying to test out tomorrow, is how I could set up and combo off with certain signature move choices. So I do have certain ones that I put together to see if I can like chain them, especially since we're going to be at 10th level, so we're going to have access to a little bit more lucha die from the get-go. So yeah, so say the creature takes bludgeoning damage, you go to 5d6 and is stunned until the start of the next turn. If the creature is below half their hit points and fails the save, instead they just drop. Instead they drop. They drop to 0 hit points. You just straight up kill them. So this is kind of like that. Yeah, this is a pinfall. They're tapped out. Like, that's it. Hit points. The only thing I need to do is write the language when they succeed. Okay. On a successful save. Yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm seeing for this feature. My brother is playing Overwatch. What is going on? Okay, give me a sec. I just need to run to the restroom really, really quick. Be right back. All right, we're back. Ooh. Okay. So yeah, that is the main event. So I was trying to think of the flavor behind this, except just like because we just went straight all in on. Just kind of mechanical. So what I'm trying to think is, this is like a grapple. I'm probably not going to call it the main event either. I just was like, oh. We'll just call it pinfall. Yeah, well, that's what pinfall is. Pinfall is the knockout. So knockout indicates that, or ground and pound indicate that we're striking them. The reason I went with the unarmed strike isn't to actually sell the fantasy on hitting. It's actually a mechanical limitation to 5th edition in the wording. Because in reality, this can be coded in a way that when you grapple, you can do it, and it would make sense because that's kind of what a shove, or kind of what it should be. Actually, I probably should do that. When you successfully grapple a prone creature. So to pull this move off, yeah, you do need to do a level of... The thing is, like, back to back, like they have to make, the creature has to make saving throws. That's why I'm really looking forward to the unarmed strike rules and grappling and shove rules being changed in OneD&D, whatever the hell they're going to name the new edition, because it eliminates that. Like, you just straight up, unarmed strikes can account for pretty much grapples and shoves now, at least with the newer edition. So again, this can just, all of these moves will be coded in a way that, okay, whenever you make an unarmed strike that grapples, or whenever you make an unarmed strike, do this, do that, etc. So yeah, it's gonna be sick. I'm gonna enjoy that change, especially because it's no longer a contested roll, so it's gonna make gameplay a lot smoother, since it is just gonna be you versus just you rolling the die against a target number versus you and the DM needing to kind of roll off and finding ways to give advantage. Like, it'll completely, I'll have to redo this whole class, but I'm looking forward to like this changes. But yeah, all right, this feels better. I don't feel like I need to do too much flavor text. I'll probably go back to it and do flavor text. But pinfall, it's that idea that, yeah, you're pinning them, and yeah, that's it. That's over. Okay. Yeah, let's see. We need a name for the level 11 feature. The first signature move you perform on your turn costs 1 less lucha die to perform. Probably the easiest thing to say. Superstar. if okay, I'm kind of thinking about really changing body block now. Can I have 2 subclasses that don't want to get knocked down? Well, this one just straight up says I can't get knocked. But that's at level 11. This is my idea right now for like to call it no sell, like just straight up just say no sell. Like an effect that would, like if you were to fail a saving throw, or pretty much fail an effect that would cause you to get knocked prone or down or incapacitated or stunned or paralyzed or some stuff, you could, as a reaction, you just say, nah, you're not doing that, and then you can't do it until a long rest. I'll just do body block, but I'll test this one out tomorrow anyway. So, but yeah, okay. We got something working, guys. We have a full subclass with this one now. Okay, the last one, we still got like an hour. Still got an hour before I got to dip out. I gotta go. I'm gonna go touch some grass. The hell is my brother posting? I'm gonna go touch some grass today. Okay, so the last subclass we have is Mask of Tooth and Claw. This is probably one of my favorite ones because it's like you're summoning the animal spirit, that is infused into your mask, and it's kind of this very. What's going on, Dan? This is like a very primal-esque subclass, similar to like the Beast Barbarian and many of the Druid spells and stuff like that. It's just really taking that idea of just like shifters also for racial ops and just taking on the animal aspects. And I left it, excuse me, pretty open so that you can flavor it as mostly any kind of mammal. Not really any bird, because if you're going to play a bird, to be honest, like feathered serpent is kind of like the angle you want to play. Like you want to play an owl, like you want to do an halucha, I would say go play Mask of Feathered Serpent. But if you want to play, you know, what's that wrestler, the wrestling cat from Pokemon, it was like one of the fire starters. I think it was from Sun and Moon. What's the, yeah, Incineroar. You want to play Incineroar, you want to play this, then Tooth and Claw is probably what you want to do. So yeah, so that's kind of like the idea, Tooth and Claw. So this one, the Predator's Instincts, you have proficiency in the perception skill. When you make a wisdom, pretty much a perception check that relies on sight or smell, you gain a bonus to the check equal to your charisma modifier. Pretty much what I want this class to allow you to do out of combat is to let you play the scout. I want you to play the party scout a little bit, give you some more roleplay opportunities, especially in the exploration pillar of the game. That's kind of what some of this helps you do, at least skill-wise. You're not going to be the greatest at it, but you're still going to be good enough that, say your party doesn't have that ranger or pretty much any of these experts classes that are geared towards exploration, you should be able to do a decent job at it. Even though it's as simple as just adding your charisma modifier, it'll be your charisma on top of your wisdom and proficiency bonus. Excuse me. Now, this is Feral Assault. Your attacks are empowered by your Bestial Fury. You learn the Blanche's signature move, which doesn't count against any of your Number of signature moves known. Your unarmed strike deals slashing damage. When you successfully grapple a creature, you deal piercing damage equal to your proficiency bonus. Once on your turn, when you successfully knock a creature prone, you can make an additional unarmed strike as a part of that action. So this one really is about wanting to pounce people, or at least try to knock them prone in some way. Plancha does this. I'm probably going to change it out and change it to a different signature move, because Plancha was reworked. How was your capstone subclass abilities work for the other subclasses? Actually, we just nailed down the People's Champion, or we got something working for the People's Champion. I won't say nailed down. I think there's definitely gonna need to be some balancing and something to make it pop. But I'll go back to Pinfall right now to show you. What I'm thinking, before you jump, attack a creature with an unarmed strike, you can expend 2 Lucha die. If the attack is successful, add the Lucha die to the attack damage rolls. Becomes grappled by you. If the target was standing, they are knocked prone. I'm gonna switch Plancha to Body Splash instead. I think that's a lot more flavorful, and that's like a way to kind of mimic a pounce attack. Oh, we can go Body Splash. Body Splash. Boom. Cool. Slight change. Plancha changes because now it can knock out multiple people. So I just want that little slight change. Now I like it's a single target. I only want you to pounce on one person. Plancha, like you can throw your body out at people and knock out multiple people, as long as there's somebody 5 foot next to them. Let's go back to Pinfall just to show Den what we got working right now. So for the finishing move, this one is to mimic the idea of that 1, 2, 3 count, and also like those grappling-esque finishing moves. So I'm calling it Pinfall for now, but I can probably think of like some other stuff, but that is like the way I can kind of translate what you were wanting to do. We want to knock this person out. So when you successfully grapple a prone creature, so we would need to knock them on their ass first, you can expend 5 Lucha die and make a Constitution saving throw against your signature move DC. On a failed save, the creature takes bludgeoning damage equal to 5d6 and is stunned until the start of your next turn. It's gonna be 5d6 now that it was doing the 5d6 plus your modifier, and is stunned until the start of your next turn. If the creature is below half their hit points and fails to save, instead they just drop to 0 hit points. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't stunned. The half hit point thing is just to kind of mimic that they're already kind of tired it out, and you're just it's game over. They tapped out. There's that 1, 2, 3 count. So that's what that one is. It's at level 15. The stun idea shouldn't be that bad because it does take up a lot of Lucha die to kind of pull this off, and at that level, you already have wizards get access to power word stun. So like spellcasters have access to stun effects at this level. So, and then you also are competing with the stun spammer that is the monk. So only other idea is to make it they become incapacitated for a turn or such. So that's the only other idea I kind of have. So that's what's that one. Okay, so back to Mask of Tooth and Claw. Anyway, the main bread and butter ability you're going to be using is Fear Assault. So you get Body Splash signature move on top of this, and then whenever you successfully grapple a creature, you deal piercing damage equal to your proficiency bonus. So it's just a little bit of extra damage just for grappling. So it does really kind of want you to play a little bit more of a grappler roll tool or reward you for it. And then once on your turn, when you successfully knock a creature prone, you can make an additional unarmed strike as an attack as a part of that action. Exactly that. What I'm wanting out of these last signature moves, these finisher attacks, is to be just that. This is like this is your Stone Cold Stunner. This is your 619. This is your Rock Bottom, People's Elbow. This is that move. I do want them to feel flashy and feel rewarding when you're beating, like when you build up to it, because you're like, I want to be able to do that. I felt this way with when it came to what was the barbarian that's not out yet. It's a giant one that had Mighty Impel, which allow you to throw people. You can throw an ally, like you can do a fastball special, but you can also pretty much spin around and throw an enemy, and that's kind of like these cool little build-up moves. So yeah, you're right on the head. Like, we're trying to find that fully awakened final attack for these subclasses, and this is the last one I need. So that after this kind of bread and butter thing of like, okay, well, I'm grappling them and then proning them so that I can kind of like so that I can kind of just constantly just jump in, attack, prone them, beat them, and then kind of dip out. You get bestial swiftness. Your movement speed is increased by 10 feet. So you are going to move faster for being this sort of animal. That you take on these animal spirit qualities. And then whenever you use the Doodle feature, so as a reaction, you roll a lucha die, and then you reduce damage based off how many based off the roll plus your lucha level. You also don't provoke opportunity attack. You can move up to half your speed away from the creature. So it's kind of this slinky, like you kind of allows you to kind of move in and out. The mobile feature is probably going to be good with this subclass to really play into it. This was like my way of allowing you to kind of do that in a little bit more controlled sense. But if you take the mobile feature, it'll be the same. This just gives you additional movement on top of that. Okay, so that's that one. And then we got Dauntless Roar. And honestly, I'm not sold on this feature at all. Normally at this level, I kind of want like a small little playstyle damage bump. But I also felt that having that we kind of already have that built into Feral Assault. Like, we're already doing a lot of damage and getting extra attacks in for doing these things. So it just felt like I can maybe get away with some sort of like additional effect. Or, and this one is, as a bonus action, choose a number of creatures you can see within 10 feet of you, equal to your charisma modifier. Each of those creatures gain temporary hit points equal to your charisma modifier and has advantage against being frightened until the start of your next turn. So the temporary hit points doesn't really matter, but it's mainly pretty much getting rid of frighten. I might want to bump this up a little bit and maybe do an effect where this just gets rid of frighten altogether. Maybe drop the temporary hit points. Anybody that's frightened no longer is frightened, and if they aren't frightened, they just have advantage against being frightened, at least for a turn. And then just not be able to use it. Pretty much use it every short rest or something, or long rest. So yeah. And then, yeah, we have no final feature for this subclass. Right now, I'm stuck on the idea of some kind of energy construct of a beast that appears as you smash into target. I'm thinking something like that too, honestly. Like, I was kind of thinking some sort of mix of Wolverine and from Marvel vs. Capcom, his fighting style, or John Talbane from Darkstalkers. So let me bring him up. John Talbane. Cannon. Okay, hold on. He has I forgot what his name moves. Here we go. Not regeneration. Not regeneration. Okay, so there's a move John Talbane. I'll bring up Darkstalkers right now. He has with the idea that since this is the kind of pounce and dip away class, that you're kind of tackling or spearing the hell out of them or pouncing on them, so that your subclass features can kind of like pop off too. What was I thinking? What I wanted to do is look at, give me a sec. I wanted to do really quick. Let me go to Monkey Monk. Because my mind right now is on the Dauntless Roar, like making it better. But I want Stillness of the Mind. When does this pop off? Stillness of Mind pops off at 7th. Okay. Pops off at 7th. Let's look at Paladin's aura. They just straight up can just do it. Paladin's aura. The reason I'm looking at this because I want to see what kind of levels they. Sick. Okay, we're in the power level. Okay, I can. We're gonna change Dauntless Roar. I don't care for the temporary hit points. So let me pull up something. We're gonna change this really quick. We're gonna change something really quick. Okay, if you're trying to post a link, it's probably not gonna go through because it'll just what's it called? YouTube will probably just filter it out because of what I have for filters to try to limit the porn bots that are out there. But if anything, you can post it on the Discord, depending on what it is. I might have to just watch it off stream though, because if it is from a TV show or something, obviously DMCA and all that fun jazz. You can get away with like video game stuff, but when it comes to TV stuff, it's always an iffy game. Stillness of mind, where is it at? Okay, this is what I'm looking at. Stillness of mind. Was actually choose number of creatures you can see within 10 feet up to your charisma modifier. Okay. Boom. Okay. That feels better. Okay, let me see this. Dome Brothers. Okay. Good thing I have sound off. Oop. I'm going to off to the side. Okay. So this is... Give me a sec. Pull up chat really quick. Yeah, let me watch it off screen. Okay. So yeah, this is what I have for Mighty Roar now. You guys can read it really quick. Let me go watch this off camera really quick. Let's see what this is. Tiger Arts. Okay. Okay. Wild Tiger Lightning. That'd be kind of, yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be sick. That's kind of like, yeah, the effect I'm like wanting. That's kind of part of the fantasy that I want for the Luchador. I'm looking at this is that while I'm trying to pay homage and respect to wrestling, I also want to bring a fantasy element to it. And the general idea behind the Luchador is that mask represents a hidden power and is their new identity. And they are like these superheroes. They are pretty much like they're pretty much superheroes. The secret identity, everything. So, yeah, that's pretty much that in the kind of the ballpark I'm thinking too, Dan. Like there's some sort of like this kind of rush energy attack that kind of goes through them. Okay, how are you guys liking Dauntless Roar? I think it feels better. It's not necessarily what I normally want in a level 11th feature, but I don't know if I can give them anything more to kind of boost their play style. This is more of a flavor option than it is anything else, because a lot of the boost to the playstyle is already in Feral Assault. Like, you're already rewarded for playing a certain way. And for me, it's like, okay, at level 11th, it's just more of a flavor thing of just like kind of being able to do something. Bestial Swiftness again plays into the Prowler playstyle of kind of like, okay, you're in, you take some damage, you bounce out, and you go back and pounce again. Capcom, Wolverine, Berserker Barrage. I can bring this up though. There is a Wolverine Berserker Rage. Marvel X-Men anime? Okay. What is Wolverine strategy? IGN. See, I can show this though. I can show this. Pretty much, yeah. I want something like this. But you're just Berserker Barrage, boom. I know that's not really wrestling though. That is very much a fighting game sort of thing. It's very hard to kind of figure out a wrestling ability that has like cat qualities to it, because then you get stuff like King in Tekken, and while he's supposed to be a luchador, Tekken 7, he doesn't have any moves in a way that dictate a feline-esque thing. It's just like the motif is feline, and he just pretty much is a standard wrestler. He's not even a luchador, just a standard wrestler. That's what I'm thinking too. So I'll do some King footage. So yeah, it's like even let me see if I can scoot over to some of like his grapples and stuff. So I was like even trying to look at like other wrestlers. Like Tiger Mask is like a big inspiration, and he's a Japanese wrestler. They don't really perform lucha libre, but it's like it still has a similar motif. They take on that identity. And yeah, like even his whole thing was like something super simple, so it was hard to kind of make it that it was like a fantasy behind it. Let me see if I can get into okay, here we go. Think okay, those are just combos. We'll get into his like, yeah, here's his Rage Art, which is like his special move. Boom. So it's just like a special move that he just kind of slams him down. There's, yeah, boom. The Neck Buster. So yeah, it is kind of hard to kind of like get something down for this that feels like it. I want to change the music. Spend X amount of dice to target a number of creature people within a cone area starting from you. Each creature takes a saving throw on a fail. They take X amount of damage and knock prone. Is it Steel Wind Strike? That's what it is. Yeah, let's see. That's what it reminds me of. That's pretty much what Steel Wind Strike is. You flourish the weapon used in casting and then vanish to strike like the wind. Choose up to 5 creatures you can see within range. Make a melee weapon attack gauge each target on a hit. The target takes 6d10 force damage. You can teleport to an occupied space you can see within 5 feet of the target you hit or miss. Yeah, that's also kind of reminding me of what is it? Marvel vs. Capcom and Spider-Man Spider Sting, where he just kind of bouncing around everywhere. Yeah, when you knock the target down and make an additional strike as a part of that attack. Yeah. That's the only thing. It's like I'm going to give them extra. When knocking a target down, you get to get an pretty much a free attack when you knock it prone. So that's kind of like the thing. It's like once on your turn. Okay, well that's only once on your turn. That's not bad. I didn't realize that limited it. Okay. I'm thinking I'm liking the cone idea. I'm liking the lightning bolt idea. Like you can maybe if it's just like all right, give me a sec. Window. Let me look up NTG picks. See if I can get a card name that'll help kind of like that'll kind of get idea. Okay, not Stampede. Overrun. It's just overwhelm, overrun, stampede, run, forerunners, overwhelming stampede, turn of the wild seeker, prepare to hook hit. Oh. Wondering. No, I'm okay with them like not doing that. I'm just trying to think, because I have no problem with this character's super move being a spear, because it's, for me, that it's really thematic. You just spear this person out and boom, like you're knocking them on the floor. Like it and it makes a lot of sense. Like, even if it's something simple, it's just adding a fantastical element to it. And I'm thinking like the animal spirit idea of like, okay, like you take on not so much an animal form, you wrap yourself in the animal spirit, you spare the main person, and they're kind of just overran, and but anybody else after them is also kind of hit by it. Could also be something like survival of the fittest, where the target is down and you do a series of strikes while like more than whatever you could normally get, and each strike deals extra damage. Mm-hmm. We probably should look at cats too, right? Or monsters, beast. That would also probably be a good thing to encounters. My bad. Browse monsters. Oh, I don't want to browse homebrew. I want horses, tools, marketplace, monsters. Here we go. Blind. What's going on, Akuma? Look at some beast. See if we can like kind of draw from some inspiration, because Tooth and Claw isn't just cats. That's the one thing too. I just don't want it to be about cats. Like it's any sort of large beast of a creature. So obviously it's not going to be birds, but it is going to be like dinosaur stuff too. So like you want to play a Luchador and Ebron. Okay, well, Ebron does have dinosaurs. You can take on the aspects of dinosaurs for that. Rider kick, finisher, and overall. Ooh. Yeah, like, dang. Hanzo's finisher, like Hanzo's ult is pretty sick. We're close. Thanks, Arcane. It's super close. Literally, it's this feature. We figure out this right here, and pretty much everything goes to balancing and fine tuning, and then layout, and we're done. Like, yeah. So you came in at a good time, because like it's literally hinging on this feature. Figure this one out then. Ultraman. Ooh, interesting. Pounce. Allosaurus moves at least 30 feet straight towards a creature, and then hits with a claw attack on the turn. Our prone, the target is prone, can make a one bite attack against it. So we already kind of have that built into the class. So Pounce is kind of out of it. I don't have access to everything because I don't have to move this. Ankylosaurus, they just got a tail attack. Ape. Monkey. Fist, rock. Oh. Legacy. Excuse me. Aurochs. Gore. Yeah, we're not that. Heart of the Wild. Yeah. Ooh, that gives me... Okay. There is... That gives me an idea. Let me just look at something. I want to look at a... There's a magic character called... or Vivian. I think, right? Is it Vivian? V-I-V-I-E? Is that how she spells her? Yeah, Vivian. I can pull this up. So... The core mechanic of the subclass. Okay, the core mechanic of the subclass is kind of giving you extra damage for doing for grappling and proning people. So pretty much it's kind of like you want to pounce people. That's really what it really wants you to do. So that's why you get the signature move Body Splash to let you do that. Because what it does is let you grapple them, and if they were standing, they're knocked down. But if they're already on the floor when you do Body Splash, then you're just grappling them. But whenever you grapple somebody, you deal additional piercing damage equal to your proficiency bonus. And once on your turn, when you knock a creature prone, you make an extra attack for free. Just pretty much what you want to be doing with this. A Bestial Swiftness will help you kind of like, if you get hit, you can shave off some of the damage with your Doodle feature and then bounce off. Pretty much unprovoked. And then you can go back in on your next turn and pounce them again. Pretty much what you kind of want to be doing. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Meowth, really Meowth. 15 level feature named Meowth. I like the name Heart of the Wild. I'm wondering, I don't want it to be too much like too much like Steel Wind Strike. I think there's a potential to be kind of like being a little too much like it. I like the idea though of like, okay, we're spearing somebody. Pretty much you're running and then you're spearing them. And then as you spear that person, it kind of unleashes like a full wave of animal spirits that trample over everybody else behind them. Kind of like a stampede. Like that's the way I'm seeing it too. So the reason I want to bring up Vivienne, because she pretty much is like this Hanzo-esque character that does that. Her bow has animal spirits, and every time she fires it off, it's an animal spirit that comes up. So she does have a bow. So I just kind of want to see, yeah, Vivienne's arc bow, what this kind of looks like. Let's see if we can G'd in punches. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know if I'd want to consider them grappled by me. Knocking them on their ass, yeah, that'd be sick. You're just stampeding through all of them. They take a bunch of damage. Pretty much they're going to take damage equal to 5d6s. The main guy is going to take a lot more because obviously you're just proning and hitting them and stuff. But yeah, Vivienne's arc bow. That's kind of like the Hanzo effect. Discard a card. Look at the top X of your library. You must put a creature card. Okay, so just searches for more creatures. Vivienne's Invocation. Look at the top 7 cards of the library. Put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Okay. Each creature control gains. Okay. Oh man, oh. It's making me think. Felicia does this in Darkstalkers. She's able to call like a miniature version of herself to help you fight. And it's like, part of me is like, oh, that'd be sick. You call on this animal spirit and you guys kind of just combo off and beat the hell out of the person. The problem is I don't want to do that because that kind of does like these burst damage things. Like, it's because I do in the future want to do Mask of the Twin Soul, which plays into the idea of like summoning a shadow double of yourself to help you kind of do tag team moves. In general, this is like the tag team inspired subclass that's going to tie into maybe some psionic or maybe Shadowfell. I'm still trying to decide. This is like the name, the code name I'm doing it, but these are gonna come later. I think maybe running through enemy strength save or a dex within 30-foot line, 10-foot wide. Any creature within the area fall prone. They get double damage. Oh yeah, yeah. That's why I don't want to do like summoning a bunch of stuff to help me fight. And still need to draft this one up. Give me a sec. Body splash pretty much is what you think it sounds like. Let me go ahead. That's one thing I didn't do, is make like a super body splash finishing move. And that maybe probably is better for Feathered Serpent, now that I think about it. But let me go to body splash so we can see. Sorry, we got body splash. If you jump before attacking a creature with an unarmed strike, you can expend 2 lucha die. If the attack is successful, add the lucha die to the attack's damage roll, and it becomes grappled by you. If the target was standing, they are knocked prone. If the attack misses you, take damage. If the attack misses, you take damage equal to the roll of the lucha die. Whenever you hit or miss with the attack, you are knocked prone. So either way, you're going to be knocked down. But whether you're grappling them or not, it will be the big difference. Yeah. So pretty much, yeah, you're grappling and proning them. Pretty much, it's like another way to do pounce, just in a different way where you don't have to have a running start. You just need to jump before you do it. Yeah, I can't wait till this changes too. Like, I'm looking forward. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do too. It's like I want to be able to build off, like, trying to build off, or at least either it builds off or it accompanies or plays well with the core subclass feature. So maybe the effect increases to the radius centered on you. Well, yeah, I don't want like a permanent summon, because I was like, oh yeah, conjure animal kind of crap. But the idea of this stampede light effect where you spear somebody, knock them prone, and you kind of unleash this wave of animal spirits that also kind of just do the same to everybody. Okay. Okay. What we want is we need this to be I cannot speak the English. Okay. What was I? Oh, what am I doing? Let's look at freaking Pounce. Allosaurus Pounce. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just flavor text. I'm okay. If you move at least 10 feet straight towards a creature and then make an attack with Unarmed Strike on the same turn. Must succeed on a saving throw. Creatures behind it in a third. Charisma modifier. Where's the half as much? Okay. Okay. There we go. Pretty much you spear the shit out. Yeah, you're gonna spear this guy and then unleash this dragon spirit Hanzo wave of beast that trample everybody else. That the way this is looking, since you are knocking this person prone, what's happening is you are gonna also get that extra offhand attack as a part of this action. From what yeah, the way this looks, as long as if it pairs right, predator with this. Once you successfully knock a creature prone, you may make an additional unarmed strike as a part of that action. I would want to say force, but this is animal spirits. Also, the reason I'm not saying, well, force would be supernatural-ish, could be. Bludgeoning also reminds me of Stampede. And Stampede is definitely bludgeoning damage. Yep. Oh, we got something working. True. That's why it's spirits. I wish there was just like spirit damage. That'd be sick. Is there an animal spirit? Oh wait, let's look at the, I know. The thing is with spirits, spirit spells. Let me spirit. We'll just put spirit on here so I can make a spell. It's from the Tasha's ones, and I'll here's my line of reasoning, because while spirits naturally would want you to have a supernatural element and energy tied to them, funny enough, in Dungeons and D&D, when you summon an animal spirit, they do animal damage, like they do physical damage. Two down, two to go. No, all two down, all of them done. This like, yeah. Well, Spirit Guardian's also not necessarily, like, Spirit Guardian's different. Like, I'm looking at bestial spirit. Like, you're summoning an actual beast. You're manifesting a bestial spirit. So that's why I'm thinking that, like this too. That's why I'm okay with physical damage types with this. Force. Only reason I would consider force if we do want to get around damage resistances. Yeah. So that's part of the thing. So yeah. So this is you're summoning a bestial spirit and it's doing physical damage. And that's this calls to some of the fantasy behind the planes of D&D. Okay, Adobe, I understand. I have updates ready. And it makes sense. You're actually summoning a bestial spirit from like the other planes. So it makes a lot of sense. I'll keep it in mind though. I'm not against force. I think I'm playing it really safe and just saying bludgeoning. Oh, the thing is, okay, magical should be covered in fuerza. So, is it unarmed strike? How do I code this? Yep, we're good. I think it's coded in a way that it should still work on their fuerza because you are making an unarmed strike initially. If we need clarification, yeah, like I'm not against force either. So, if it needs a damage bump, then I definitely will just switch it to force, like, and it just to make sure that it can see hits. Because I know the worry too with bludgeoning, a lot of people are resistant against bludgeoning damage. So, dang, I really wish that. Oh, it's not radiant. Like, it's like there's nothing that's in the between that's like just spirit. Yeah, half bludgeoning, half force. Oh man. I think since we're playing with other damage types, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with force. Excuse me, burping. Because Crack of Doom deals, we're doing necrotic damage or cold damage, right? But you're gonna do undead aligned damage with this one. Tormenta is doing thunder damage. So I think we can get away with force here. Also, it's a high level feature. That's the only time you're going to be doing like this kind of damage. It's going to feel good. Psychic would be sick, but I don't know. All right, yeah, that's it. We did it. We did it. We have a 4 working subclasses. I'm gonna test out one of them tomorrow. We're gonna go level 10. And I'm gonna kind of figure out based off of how I feel playing it, and also feedback from my brother, because he's gonna be playing a Luchador also, and also the feedback of the other players I'm playing with, how they feel about it, playing alongside it, because some of them have already played it. So yeah, definitely gonna see how this turns out. But yeah, we're so close. Twin Soul is probably something I will work on based off the success of the class once it gets on the DM's Guild. Rudo is something I probably should put in and need to kind of really work on quickly, but it's something I'm not going to push, at least having 4 on there. So yeah, Psychic Luchadores. If I had enough time for Banderhoptober, if this was already up, Banderhoptober, I would have totally done a Mask of the Banderhob subclass. Maybe next year, or maybe, who knows, soon enough I can get that out and just throw that on Banderhoptober, Mask of the Banderhob for our buddies over there at Fry Minis. Definitely go check them out. They're doing a month-long celebration of everything Froggy, and they're having a painting contest right now too. So you can submit a mini images of a mini painted of a Banderhob or any sort of frog-based creature, and you can win cool prizes over there. A fun community, fun stuff. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Woo. Yeah, we made it right on time too, because I'm gonna have to pop off in like 7 minutes, because I'm gonna go touch grass tonight and go meet up with my buddies, and I'm gonna actually play Magic the Gathering, which I haven't done in months now, because I've been busy doing this. So yeah, I'm super excited. Yeah. So quick overview, pretty much of the 4 subclasses. They are done. They're done-ish. So we got Mask of the People's Champion. This is your bread and butter go-to vanilla-esque option for luchadores. Pretty much whenever you do use one of your signature moves, you're going to be inspiring people around you. You pretty much give people a D4 whenever you grapple or shove a creature. And then they can use it on their next saving throw, attack rolls, etc. Eventually that culminates into pinfall, which is their signature move, which is the idea of like you getting that 1, 2, 3 count, or that really strong submission move, that hold. So while grappling a prone creature, you can expend 5 lucha die and make a Constitution saving throw against your signature move DC. On a failed save, the creature takes bludgeoning damage equal to 5d6 plus your strength modifier and is stunned until the start of your next turn. But if the creature is below half their hit points and fails the save, instead they just drop to 0 hit points. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and is stunned and isn't stunned. So yeah, so You get a creature that's below half their hit points, you're just knocking them out. I don't expect this to kind of come into play too often. This little last part, you're really going to be taking out. You're not going to be taking out bosses, to be honest. But is a fun way to get a legendary save out of them. To really think about it that way. But yeah, so that's their finishing move. It's just a classic, like, yeah, I'm taking them out. It's the most flashiest thing I can think of for this. All right, Mask of Tooth and Claw, we finished it. Wild Stampede. If you move at least 10 feet straight towards a creature and then make an attack with Unarmed Strike on the same turn, you can expend 5 Lucha dice and the target and creatures behind it in a 30-foot long and 10-foot wide line. Let's make a strength or dexterity saving throw, On a failed save, you unleash a stampede of animal spirits, knocking them prone, dealing force damage equal to 5d6 plus your charisma modifier. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and is knocked prone. All right, Mask of the Feathered Serpent. So this is our high flyer, wind powered inspired class. You can sonic boom them and get them trapped into a ranged grapple wind, which eventually culminates into Tormenta, which is whenever you grapple a creature, you can expend 5 Lucha die and maneuver your body around them, creating a whirlwind, briefly lifting both of you 10 feet into the air. You hurl the creature down to an unoccupied space below you. Each creature in a 5-foot cube originating from the thrown creature must make a Constitution saving throw against your signature move DC. On a failed save, the creature takes damage equal to 5 rolls of your Lucha dice and is pushed back and prone 10 feet from that creature. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed, pretty much adding a thunder wave effect around around the character. Also want you to note, since you are falling 10 feet from the air, that creature falling that you throw down, they take an additional 2d6. So that's intentional. As long as you use Wind Stride before this, you're not taking that 2d6. So that's all intentional. All right. Then we got Mask of the Grave Titan. This is your Undertaker, your undead powered subclass. Pretty much the main idea is to go around choke slamming people. So whenever you shove a creature, or you perform an unarmed strike or signature move, they'll take additional necrotic damage equal to 1d4 plus your charisma modifier, but if they're frightened of you, that changes to a 1d6. This culminates all into Crack of Doom. Whenever you successfully shove a creature, you can expend 5 Lucha die to banish them to the realms of the dead. The creature disappears and returns at the end of your next turn to a space it previously occupied or the nearest unoccupied space prone. Target takes cold or necrotic damage of your choice, equal to 5d6 plus your strength modifier. So yeah, Crack of Doom was definitely inspired by I'll go to the Warlock one, the Fiend Warlock's capstone feature, because that shit was hilarious. I didn't realize that the Fathom or the Fiend Warlock did this. They hurl through hell, so it's inspired by this one. But they just, when you hit it with an attack, they just automatically go to hell. So, and they do 10d10 psychic damage. But the whole point of the Lucha isn't to do a lot of damage. It's really to do to act as a controller to some extent. So yeah, we're in there. This is we're good. We did it. We did it. Thank you guys. I've been stuck on this for like 2 weeks now. Like, if I would have been able to figure this out 2 weeks ago, yeah, we would have. We would have had this a lot sooner, but now I can go get this shipped off. I'm gonna do some more testing tomorrow, and then yeah, we're definitely going to we're gonna get this onto a layout. We're gonna do it. So yeah, soon as it's finalized and stuff. Yes, sir. We got the last 2 subclass features done. So we got, really quickly, finishing move for People's Champion is Pinfall. I think you might have been here right when we finished that one. So it's some sort of submission move. Or they'll get stunned if they have a lot of hit points. If they're below half their hit points and they fail to save, they just straight out drop to 0. And obviously, if they make the save, they're successful. They're not stunned. They just and they take half damage. Mask of Tooth and Claw is their finisher's Wild Stampede. Move 10 feet straight towards a creature. Make an unarmed strike attack. Following that, you can expend 5 Lucha die. The target and the creatures behind it must make a strength or dexterity saving throw. If they fail it, they're knocked prone and they take damage. So you're unleashing this animal stampede at them in a very Hanzo-esque dragon spirit attack. But yeah, we are there. All right, I'm probably going to be shipping this off to we're going to be shipping this off to Indestructible soon. Get some feedback. For feedback, if you guys are actually in his Discord, I have a thread there that you guys can check out for it. Also, you guys can go check out if you're already in my Discord. I'm in there. I have a thread in there too. It's gonna be for feedback. I know some of you guys are in there already. So yeah, thank you guys. I added Denasis. I added you to the document and also Arcane Akuma. And I already know I got Awesome Soul and I got Joken Yoda already here too. So yeah. So again, thank you guys. This is the weight has been lifted. So now it's time for some balancing, fine tuning, and then it's on to DM's Guild. And then hopefully, if it does well, more subclasses. Because I would definitely love to continue building this, and then definitely next in 2024, as long as I'm still playing D&D. Yeah. This is definitely gonna be updated for OneD&D. All right, thank you guys again. I'm gonna go hang out with my buddies and go relax now. And yeah, till next time. I'll probably be streaming sometime next week. So you're drunk. That sounds like a good time. I cannot do that. I'm driving. All right, you guys take care. Have a good one. And see you guys next time. Thank you.